Hello and welcome to North Star Stamper. I'm Sue Kramer. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Minnesota. Right now I'm looking for myself on my computer so I can respond to comments and greet everyone. There I am. I remembered to mute my computer because you don't need to hear me twice. There we go. I think I'm ready. Let me take a quick drink. All right, I'm ready. Thank you for joining me. Happy Monday or Tuesday or whatever day you're watching. So I have a quick, if you saw the title of my post, it's a quick window card. So this is a card that we saw at our virtual convention in November. Was that November? Just November? Wow. Seems like it was a long time ago. These are places you can find me. Hopefully you know that. We'll come back to that later. Hello. Hi, Ann. Hi, Mom and Dad. Thank you for joining me. All right. So the window is made with a punch. I'm going to use the Heartfelt hexagon punch. This is going to be in the January through April mini catalog. Right now it's an online exclusive because it was part of our World Card Making Day sneak preview. I think that's when it was. So this was a card that we saw on stage. That's what we're calling our convention these days. So I just had a standard card base. This is Bubble Bath. Oh my goodness, words aren't coming to me. That's not good. And then we make our window using our punch in the front of our card. So just a standard card base. And I'm going to push it all the way in and center it. This piece you can save for another card. I am not using the same designer series paper that they did it on stage. I just got it on Saturday, but I haven't opened it yet. So I'm using this one. And this is in the annual catalog. This is the Bright and Beautiful with the beautiful balloons, if you remember that. From this page, on page 15 of the annual catalog. I have another sample. Let me show you the sample first. Not first, but let me show you the sample. This is the one I made using the Gone Fishing, or Let's Go Fishing. I forget what it's called. Also in the annual catalog. And I'll explain my differences here. I stamped on it, and I put this on a piece of scrap. And because I thought this pattern was too dark for me to stamp on, which is why I'm showing you with a lighter one. So, and then I stamped on the front with my sympathy card here. So this is, I think I'll be making a lot of these cards. So I punched my window in the front of my card. Now I'm just going to punch from my designer series paper. What I will probably do is use this on my envelope flap, so you can watch my YouTube post for that later. I'm just going to set this here for now, and I'm going to stamp on it right now so I know where things are going. I'm going to use Berry Burst. So I'm thinking that this is dark enough that we'll be able to see my stamping on here. And I'm going to choose a very narrow sentiment. I think we'll use this, I want it a little darker. We'll use this Happy Birthday from the Go-To Greetings. And you know, this really is my go-to stamp set. I use this so much. So if you need a good general stamp set, you know what, I will leave that here in case you haven't discovered that one yet. All right, this will be adhered down, but before I adhere it, I want to stamp. So, oh, sorry, there's glare. That's too big. I need to go to the smaller one. I like the thickness of this Happy Birthday. It's a little more hefty. I don't know if that's the right word. We'll have to use the smaller one, which is fine. I'm just hoping it'll show up. All right. Stamp before you adhere in case you make a mistake, right? So I'm going to go down, hold it, and lift straight up. That looks good to me. We're going to need that in a minute. use some green glue. It's just glue. We call it green glue because of the lid. And I'm just going to put some adhesive on there. Sorry for that glare. I'm going to set that right in there. I don't know if my happy birthday is. Make sure I did that right. Okay, whew. I was afraid I did it upside down or backwards or something. I'm going to turn this over to burnish it real good. So there is a super simple card. We're going to dress it up a little bit. So when I make inserts or layers for my cards, I have a lot of these. And this isn't even all of them. A lot of these handy. So when I cut my paper, my layers to 5 by 3 3/4, I get this inch piece. And the one they showed us at on stage, they used white paper for their card base. And this piece that she stamped on was probably either Fresh Freesia or Bubble Bath. It was a very pale. And then this inside was striped. So you may have seen somebody else make that already, but I wanted to do something different today. We're going to use the beautiful balloons. I think it's time for a celebration. I thought that'd be cute. Let's put these back. I was thinking when I was getting ready for tonight, what are your favorite kinds of stamps to use? I'm curious. I like what I would consider builder punches, kind of like this, where you can put, you know, you have the balloon with the string and, or the tail, and the confetti can go in there. Just pieces. I like stamp sets where there's lots of different pieces where you can mix and match and change the colors and get all kinds of different stamping. So I'm curious what you like. I also like scenery. You've seen me use those a lot. I'm going to try to center this. Not perfect. I don't like the way the N stamped. So let me ink again. That's still not right. Maybe the N. No, it's supposed to be. Let's see if I have another thick white one. I'm pretty sure I do. The other card I'm going to make. We'll see how many I make, because this is a very quick card. Once you get going. Better look at that one. If you're just patient. Ink, ink, ink. Clean, clean, clean. All right. So, let's see. Who else is here? Hello, Kathy. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Alma. You are bitter cold up there. I know we're cold here. And Christine, hello. And Chuck, if you're watching with Christine. Kathy says she likes distinctive stamps. Kathy, now that I know how to use distinctive stamps, I use my blending brush on mine. I do like them better now. I did not like them at first because I couldn't figure out how to get them to stamp just the way I wanted. So I want my equal distance here. So what I do is I line up my edge. I'm going to use my take your pick tool to point. Let's close my ink so I don't make a mess. This is how I do it. You might have a better eye for things. So I'm going to line up my edge here, and I'm going to see where that N is. So it's right here in the middle of this holder. So I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to put the C right where that N was. And I will probably be pretty close. Not close enough for you quilters, but close enough for my card. So now I should have about the same distance from my end to the end and the front to the C. Not too bad. It's a little long, so I am going to trim it a little bit more. Although I kind of like that. I'm going to cut a 16th off there. About a 16th. Maybe it was, may have been 3/16. I don't know. All right. Perfect. I'm going use a little bit of green glue on the ends of each. And this is just how they did it with the one I saw it on stage. I'm going to center this left to right and top to bottom. Hold that for a minute. And that's all they did. So that the band across hides what they had stamped inside. And I don't remember what stamp set they used. If you were there, leave a comment. I don't know if any of you were. A couple of you are on my team, but I don't think you attended our convention. So that's all they did. I decided to go a little more. Like I said, I thought this plaid paper was too dark to stamp on, so I added another layer here. And I did put it on with dimensionals. This one has the dimensionals in the middle, and this one has the dimensionals on the end. So when you close it, the dimensionals, I don't know if you can see, the dimensionals are here, here in the back, and then here. So they aren't overlapping, and it's not too thick. It feels thick, but there are not 2 layers of dimensionals on there. And then I obviously added my greenery, except it's pecan pie, it's brown. And then I put a sentiment on the inside. With, so this, my sympathy card, I'm using the Hope You Know. This one down here, it says, may you find peace in the days to come and in the loving thoughts that surround you now. I am doing another craft show on next Saturday at St. Jude of the Lake in Matamita. If you are local, come visit me. I will post about it on Facebook. So if you are out and about and looking for something to do, I think we're there 10 to 4 on Saturday. So here I might add balloons. I don't know. I'm going to leave it like this for now because I do have 2 more cards I want to show you. I'm using the same layout. So you could add so much to this. I was thinking about that. So let's try it. This similar card. But let's do pecan pie instead. Let's see. Kathy liked the sympathy card. Sue, did you know that punching the way you did would put it in the exact middle of your card? Yes, I did. And I'm going to do that here again in the middle. Again. You could do this with any punch. If you have, even a circle would work. We have the decorative circle. I'm looking over at my wall of punches. We have a square or diamond that's decorative. Any of the big punches. I do like that it's big and that you can see that behind it, or the designer series paper behind it. Okay, so this is pecan pie. So Anne, I don't know if you're talking about this, but I pushed the paper all the way in. So here's my card, and I am going from the top. So you're looking at this upside down, I'm sorry. And I did try to put it in the middle, left to right as well. This punch doesn't go all the way to the middle of my card, but it is centered across my card, not up and down, if that makes sense. Does that make sense, Ian? Okay, good. Good, good, good. And again, I have an extra one that I can use for something else. What was I thinking? Okay, I don't know. So I'm going to punch this. Again, this is the fish paper. Let's go fishing. And I'm just going to punch. I'm going to try to keep it straight so I'm not too cockeyed on here. We're going to try stamping on here. But before I do that, so this is what I was talking about. When I cut my full-size papers down to 4 by 5 1/4. So when I put this layer on here, let's just do the other side. So I'm going to cut this one to 4. There's the strip right there. 5 5 1/4. And then when I cut this down, to 5 1/4. It's already 4. I get the same size. But if I were to cut this smaller, I end up with wider strips. So that's kind of what I was getting at earlier. Okay. Pecan pie is kind of dark to be writing in, so I am going to put this in here first, and let's do that first. So you could add die cuts and punches and, you know, kind of the, I'll say, your favorite way of making cards. This is a really fun layout. I haven't seen too many people using it yet, which is surprising because it is quite fun. Like I said, I have more ideas. If we have time. Okay, yeah, see, it's already only 1/4 and I already made a card. Okay, so I'm going to try stamping on here. You know what? Let's test it. Let's test it. Here's my scrap, and here's a stamp. I might need darker ink. This is pecan pie. No, see, you can't see it at all. Yeah, you can't see that where I stamped here. You can't see that at all. All right, so that is good to know, right? All right, let's clean that up a little bit. So I think I'm going to do the same thing like I did on this one. I'm going to put that in where it's going to go. Actually, I can adhere that because I'm not going to stamp on it. Adhere. And close this and set it in there. Oops. With that green glue, it moves, right? And then open it up. I'll leave that for a minute. And then I have these strips that I just made. I think my block is wet. All right. And I'm going to try to center this. Yeah, not very centered. Not very. So I'm going to just turn it over. Try again. That's better. Oh, I do want to, like I said, I'm going to be selling this card at a craft show, and I do like people to know if it says something on the inside, and so I just put this Post-it note inside my clear envelope for people to know what it says inside. And I'll do the same here. Thinking of you. That there. Put this on the inside of my card. Alright. Oh, I kind of like that. I'm just going to adhere that flat this time. All right. Oh, Anne said use black. That would work. I thought about going to get my early espresso, but I decided not to. All right. So we're going to center this top to bottom, and it's the exact width of my piece there. So that's what it is so far. I'm going to take scrap. You see, I used it with the Gone Fishing. A scrap of Very Vanilla. And notice I only use one ink on this. I only used one ink. All right, with Sympathy. The With Sympathy came from... let's back up a little bit. The Thinking of You was in Quiet Meadow. The With Sincere Sympathy is the Heartfelt Hexagon, which is my punch for my opening. And then this twig that I used on that card was from Timeless Arrangements. And then my saying on the inside, hope you know. All right, so With Sympathy, and I am going to pull out my mat. go. Could be a little darker, but that's all right. With the very vanilla, it works. This time, I'm not sure I want to stamp on my card since I have. I just kind of like the idea of covering it up so that you don't know from looking at the outside that there's something inside underneath. I kind of like that. You can see my corner is bent there, so I'm going to trim that off. Let's go there. Okay, so I'll show you again how I do this. Oh, so the end of my sentiment is right here at this line. So I'm going to turn it around and put my other sentiment right here at this line. Things back where they go. That helps a lot. Oops. All right. Just like that. And I'm just going to adhere this with glue. That one does have dimensionals on it. And I'm just going to put a little on the ends. Because I don't want to glue my card shut, right? All right, so I have a few ideas that just came to me. This would be interesting if you were to emboss this front panel. That might be just enough to add some interest. That one I stamped, obviously. This one you could emboss. Let me know, do you think I should stamp on this one? There's so much going on the inside. I'm thinking not. Let me look. Head on. With sincere sympathy. I think I like it without. I think I'm going to leave it just like that. And then this is going to go on here. And then I always stamp on the backs of my cards so I can sign it. And it's part of the Stampin' Up! Angel policy that if you're selling projects made with Stampin' Up! Stamps, it has to have the trademark Stampin' Up! So there's 2 cards. I do have another card. It's not even 8 o'clock. I'm going to show you one more card. So thank you for staying with me. And this one I did test. We're going to use the same designer series paper as I did here. The Gone Fishing or Let's Go Fishing, whatever it was called. But here I did test on it. And you can see Night of Navy on this one. And the DSP that I'm going to use on my card is even lighter than this, so I think it's going to be perfect. Let me take another drink of water. So this time, we're going to make a retirement card. I thought I should have more variety at my craft fair, so I'm going to use Night of Navy, standard card base. See, that's how quick this card is. I'm going to make 3 cards in like half an hour. All right, and then I have a layer for the inside, and you can tell that doesn't have an even border all the way around, but I kind of like it. So I'm going to leave that. That'll be on the inside. This is the piece I'm going to use for my cutout. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go this way. No, let me think. I do want it this way. Oops, I need the punch again. So that's going to be my insert, is what I'm going to call it. And then my card from the top. I center it left to right. Close enough. This is for another day. Or, oh, so many, here come the ideas. Here they come. All right, so I'm going to put this on here. What you could do is cut this blue one apart and put part on the top and part on the bottom. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Because I can. So that piece I cut off, I'm just going to use in this card. I am going to stamp on here first because I want it to be flat. All right, so I have some Night of Navy. And then I was going to use Happy Retirement and Congrats. So the Congrats is quite solid. And this is what I was talking about, is this print is lighter than this print. And you can see the Night of Navy on there, so I know we'll be able to see the Night of Navy on there. So let's get out the congrats. And I'm going to center it on here. Photopolymer. Stand up so I can see that I'm centering it. You know what? Let's practice. Very nice. Ink. And I'm getting ink from all over my pad because I'm not sure how well inked it is. And being a photopolymer, I could see that it wasn't quite inked up all the way. So there, push where the stamp is. Ta-da! And then I have a piece here. It's going to say happy retirement. Where'd it go? There it is. Let's practice again. All right. I think I should also make some wedding cards for this craft fair. I only had a couple at the one in October. There's our happy retirement. Again, we're going to trim that down. Oh, my table is a mess. All right, let's put this card together. All right. That can go to the side. All right. My stamping, I must be very consistent. My stamp goes right to the edge of that. So I'm going to turn it around. And the one I want to trim, I go right to the same edge. Hopefully it's long enough to span our opening. Perfect, just like that. Yeah, we're going to leave it because this is going to have so much on the inside. Again, we're going to leave our front plain. I kind of wish I had thought ahead of time to emboss this front piece, but I didn't think of it till about 2 minutes ago. How else might you dress up or change this card? Let me know in the comments, and if you're on YouTube, I want to hear what you have to say too. All right, so we are going to adhere these pieces to the top and bottom of this punch. Let's get this out of the way. So I'm just going to put a little adhesive there. This is a great punch for doing this. And a little adhesive here. Let's try it around. Turn that over, hold it, and burnish it. Now this time, I can't put adhesive because now my stamp piece is bigger than that. So we're going to have to go this way. I hadn't thought far enough ahead. So we want that to be right there. You know what? I'm going to use some washi tape to hold that in place so that I know exactly where this needs to be. I don't know if you can see, but where my punched piece is. I'm going to close this. And I hope it works. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. There we go. And there's, oh, I like it. So, that piece that you punch out of the front of your card, you can use it on this card. Originally, I said it was for a different project. So we're going to do that, but I am going to use some dimensionals this time. Some mini ones if I can find them. They're on my table buried. Here we are. Here we are. So I'm just going to put dimensionals on either end. Just the mini ones. If you only have big ones, cut them in half. I have actually, I don't know if you can see, I actually cut my mini ones in half. I forget what that was, a Christmas card of some sort, I think. And I had something very narrow I wanted popped up. So I cut a mini dimensional. It was pretty funny. We're going to cover that up just like that. I think this needs something. I don't know what. Fish. Maybe I will stamp and die cut some fish to go on the front, because I imagine there are a lot of men that plan on fishing in their retirement. So watch my social media. I will make sure I finish the card and post it on Facebook and Instagram and wherever. But I just wanted you to see the simple window card. I thought it was pretty awesome. All right, let me go back. Oh, yes, and we were thinking, I just saw that you said add some fish. So there's that. This was my first sample. I think this does need some stamping or something. I don't know. This needs balloons, but you get the idea. Just a simple punch and a piece of designer series paper, which you can make yourself, right? You don't have to buy it. You can make it, stamp it yourself. So there are our cards for today. Let me look through comments and see what other suggestions you had. Okay, hello. Who did I miss here? Thank you for joining me. Thank you. And I love the layout too, that's why. Great. I think we're good. No questions or comments that I need to respond to, so thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. I am still offering with, did I say any order? I can't imagine anybody ordering less than $25. So any order, I will send you 20 pieces of 6x6 designer series paper. And if you watched last week's video, I made a card using this kind of pattern paper. So I'll make sure you get 1 or 2 of these so that you can make the card I made last Monday. And then you'll have lots of fun things to play with. And this, you can see there's some that is has foil, lots of black and white, some old ones that you may have, or you may not have, I don't know. But, so that is my thank you for orders from now through the end of the month. So thank you for joining me. Happy stamping. I hope everybody had a great holiday weekend, and that you're staying warm. I know we're cold here, and there have been snow all over the place. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate all of you. Bye.